Cool, cool. We are live. Hopefully, you guys can hear me good. Let me see. I probably need to make a little banner for y'all. Make a little banner here. Building a business, easy way to get funding. Funding. Boom. Throw that thing on there. There we go. All right. Let me give me 1 second, guys. I just want to make sure that sharing these here where I need to share it. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm gonna be basically talking about building a business and actually have some news. So those of you guys who are on here, maybe you know, based off of your input, might be something that I start shooting a little more on the channel. So basically, I've been shooting a little bit more content. This is for the YouTube side of things. I haven't put as much on Facebook, though I plan to, but I've been shooting a lot more content on business building, whether it's like business credit, you know, what you got to do when it comes kind of like the structures that need to be set up for when you're running a business. And I hope to actually go even deeper into that here today. But I want to keep shooting more content, and I'm actually thinking about maybe launching a business from scratch on the YouTube channel, and you guys can kind of watch like behind the scenes, like over the shoulder type of thing of me, pretty much just building a business, right? So give me 1 second here. I just want to share this with everybody before we jump into it here. Okay, I'm posting that here in my group. Okay, that should be posted. Cool. Yeah, so I kind of just wanted to touch on that. And let me close this out because my computer is rumbling right now. I don't think it can handle all that stuff. Yeah, so basically I wanted to talk a little bit about, I did a live a while back about the NACA mortgage. It went pretty well. I think a lot of you guys enjoyed that information, but I wanted to touch on also kind of do one on the business side in terms of, how to go about getting funding for your business. So if you're someone who's looking to get funding for your business, but you don't know where to start, I'm hoping this can kind of give you a little bit of a path that you can follow and to kind of give you, an idea how you can go about making sure that once you have a business running, what can you do to get capital to keep your business running? One of the issues I ran into, I used to actually do a physical products brand way back when. And one of the issues I ran into when I did the physical products brand was cash flow. So I know this isn't a sexy topic when it comes to running a business, but you're going to get to the point where you're running a business and eventually you're going to hopefully be making money with your business. And what happens next? You start realizing, oh, I don't have enough money to keep growing, right? There's actually companies out there who, believe it or not, have gone bankrupt because they grew too fast. They've gone bankrupt because they've grown too fast. Okay. So I wanted to touch a little bit about, business in general, how it works. I'm not talking about those, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook. I'm not talking about those ads that you see talking about you can make 20,000 in 15 days by just flicking your finger on a keyboard or something, and your money's just going to start pouring out your laptop. I'm talking about how really the mindset you got to have whenever you want to build a business, how to go about doing it. And I just hope this can kind of give you an idea what people who are really making money, what they talking about. Because the thing is, with the internet, I shoot stuff. When I'm shooting, y'all see me, I'm shooting, I shoot here. I got a home setup. Y'all see me when I'm overseas and I got I'm literally in another country. I'm shooting. I'm even showing y'all pictures to let y'all know, like, this is the real deal. I'm not talking about, this is not me, walking around different areas in my city trying to take pictures and stuff and look like I'm not doing what I'm talking about, right? So I want you guys to understand the people that I've listened to and what they've said to help you understand how to go about actually having a business, okay? And how to go about making sure that your business is successful. Now, I was going to do this live stream on Wednesday. For a lot of different reasons, I couldn't do it on Wednesday. I pushed it over to Thursday. And on Thursday, I was like, it might even be better for me to do it on Friday. Because I thought about it. I was like, what type of person is going to be at their house on Friday willing to watch a video about building a business or, business credit, whatever the case may be? It's somebody who's really about that life. If you really think about it, like you are grinding. There's people right now. It's 8:30 Central Time where I'm at. There's people right now getting ready to go to the club. right? There's in the group of those people, some of them want to start a business, some of them want to, they want to eventually have the freedom to be able to do whatever they want in their lives, right? But when the weekend comes, they're like, that the weekend is when you need to be grinding, right? For me, when I had a full-time job, I was trying to grind on the weekends. I was grinding, even I would finish work and then I would go home and then be grinding, building websites. That's how I really was able to get out of my job, was building websites. And I think sometimes people just want to hear the easy stuff. And that's why you see those ads that say, and I get it, right? The ads is just to lure you in, and then most of those guys are telling you how to really do it in terms of like, hey, this is going to be a process. This is going to be hard to do. Okay. But I think sometimes a lot of those Facebook ads, a lot of those YouTube ads make you think that for you to run a business is going to be easy, right? It's going to be like this. Not necessarily, right? You're still going to be some hoops that you're going to have to jump through. Okay. So I don't know if I can draw on this thing. I wanted to draw something to be able to show you guys. I think when it comes to building a business, it's more like this. People think that it's like your business is not doing nothing, and it's just you set up the website and then boom, you're making money and you're rich. When it's really like this, most businesses go this way. First off, most of them fail, right? And I think that's for a lot of reasons. I don't think it's just like they say 90% of businesses fail. I think a lot of that has to do with people really just giving up, right? But I think businesses are supposed to grow like this, right? They're supposed to grow like this. You go up a little bit and then you kind of stay the same level, right? And then you do something that makes you make even more money in terms of revenue, and then you kind of keep that same revenue for a little bit. Then you shoot up again, right? Because it gives you time to build up and get better and better in terms of what you're doing, right? Your processes get better. You start understanding business more, whatever the case may be. Sorry, I forgot to check and make sure y'all can. Are any of y'all on YouTube? I forgot to even check my YouTube. Make sure y'all can see me on there. Okay, yeah, it looks like YouTube working. Cool. Yeah, so that's really what I wanted to touch on with you guys is, the mindset of building a business, and then I want to get into easy ways to get funding. Guys, I just spoke with a company that they do business funding. That's all they do. I literally spoke with the guy. He was telling me like, he was, excited. He was like, man, I see the videos you're shooting. I would love to, we'd love to work with you, so on and so forth, spread this up to your audience. And it kind of got me thinking, was like, I want to make sure that I set the right expectations when it comes to you getting funding. This funding stuff, I don't know how much you guys have been looking at the funding, but there's ways to get funding nowadays. Your credit does not matter. It's not about your credit, but you still need to have a business, right? Nobody wants to give funding to somebody who, you don't think that you're going to get funding out here and you got a business that's losing money every month. Excuse me. That's going to be tough for you to get funding, right? Name one bank. Would you give your homie money if he was losing money every single month? You probably wouldn't, right? So you got to think the bank kind of thinking the same way. It's like, we want to give you money when you're succeeding because we want to help you succeed more while also making a profit. So it's like a win-win, right? So when it comes to building a business, first you want to look at, I have always said, don't use credit or don't use other people's money to start your business. Use it to grow your business. And what I've always meant by that is, at the beginning, it's your blood, sweat, and tears that need to go into it, right? You want to put your money into it. But then you want to get to a point where you're like, okay, boom. Now, I can tell everything's starting to roll. Everything's starting to work. I'm making $1,000 a month. Maybe I'm making $1,500 a month. Now I can pour fuel on the fire. So whether I need more money for advertising, I can get a business credit card and then run it up. Because I know if I put $1,000 into this business, I'm going to get $1,500 out, right? Now you got a system in place and because I'm telling you, the elite businesses, they know if you go talk to someone who really has a $1 million business, has a $5 million business, $10 million business. And I'm talking about business where they've been making money for years. I'm not talking about like all they did was sell a course, right? There's nothing wrong with selling courses. I have a course, right? But if that's all they're doing is they're just popping up with different courses every year, I'm talking about people who have true businesses where they've been making money for 5 years, 10 years. They're going to tell you that they know how much it costs for them to get one customer. Like, I pay $5 to acquire one customer. A lot of people are not going to be able to tell you those statistics because they're not even keeping track of it, right? That's how systematic you got to be. And so the thing I always try to tell people is like, when you're building a business, it's like a muscle. It's like you're working out a muscle, right? When you go to the gym, were you like the best at it the first day you got to the gym? Nah, it took you time, right? You went to the gym, you started working out. You're like, oh, you weren't good at some stuff, but you knew that you're gonna get better and better and better. That's how it is with a business. That's why 90% of businesses fail. It's because people get in there, they think just because they built this nice website that they're gonna go to sleep and wake up and they got $10 billion in their bank account. And we all know it don't work like that, right? I think at this point we do. So it's just about you continually working that muscle out and getting better and better and better, right? So let's see what else I wanted to touch on before we jump into it. Yeah, I mean, the big thing is people make the mistake, especially this is the crazy part. Let me touch on this. I got to touch on this, then we're going to jump into it. The craziest thing to me is people see online that people are talking about. You see these ads about like make $10,000 a month with Amazon FBA, make $5,000 a month or $50,000 a month with Shopify, so on and so forth. You hear people talking about that. The crazy thing to me is how could you believe, right, that you could literally join one of these programs and then you're gonna be killing it just like the person who created the program. And unless you're one of the first people to catch this thing, how many other people are in this program? And how many other programs are there like this one that you're in? So now you got to think in your mindset, the barriers to entry must be low if everybody can do Shopify stores, right? How much does it cost to set up a Shopify store? That thing like $20, $30 a month. How many people got $20, $30 a month they can spend, right? How much is the advertising? How much, if you start thinking about it, you realize the barriers to entry are low, right? So I got to do something to differentiate myself. So me, the thing is, if you just buying a course and then you do everything the course says and thinks that you're going to get rich, that's probably not the case. And that's not how it's going to happen. Okay. Now, let me throw up this thing here real quick. I probably should have left it up so you guys can see what kind of where we're going. But I created this guide. I'm gonna link to it. Let me see if I can post it here so y'all can actually see it. I'm gonna throw y'all the link so y'all can actually download it if you want to. Let me know if y'all can see that link. If y'all can't, I'll find another way to get it out to you guys. But pretty much, this is my business credit building guide. You can get it there. It's gonna you just type in your email. I'm gonna shoot it over to you guys. But we're gonna go through it, and then if you guys have questions when it comes to this guide, I want to answer it right now. This is basically going to tell you how to structure your business. It's going to give you some low-level vendor credit accounts. How do I scroll on this thing? Some vendor credit accounts. That's how you start to actually build your business credit. Because a lot of people think that, you think that you can just like open a business and then immediately you're gonna go to the bank and get like a line of credit for 100K. It don't work like that, right? You got to build it little by little, just like you do with your personal credit. Now, business credit, you're going to see bigger credit lines, right? If you got a $5,000 personal credit card, you can definitely get a $50,000 business credit card, right? That's possible, but you still got to make sure that you following the steps and you got your business set up the right way. Think about it like this, man. I always tell people, because we always think, and I think in everybody's mindset, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna find a way to finesse the banks, right? I always tell people this: pretend you are the bank and it's your best friend that's trying to borrow money from you, or your homie that's trying to borrow money from you, right? If your homie came up to you and said, I got a business idea, right? And he said, I just got a storefront. Boom, I got a storefront set up. I just poured $10,000 into this thing. We're already making money. Everything's rolling. I'm making $5,000 a month. Everything's good. Can you let me borrow $1,000? I'll give you $1,500 back next month. You'll look at that and be like, that's not bad. That sounds like a good idea. I can do that. If that same homie came up to you, he said, I'm working out of my garage. Nothing wrong with that. I'm working out of my house. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a lot of people do that. But keep this in mind. I'm working out of my house. I done put $10 into this thing, but I need $1,000. I got $1,000 in my bank account, but I'd rather use your $1,000 and see if it works. And I'm not making no money right now. You're gonna be a little skeptical, like, hold on, bro. Why don't you put your own money into it first? Why don't you get it started at least a little bit before you came to me for money, right? That's how the banks are looking at it too, right? So you got to build that relationship with them. It has to be. That's why I tell you guys, you want to make sure that whatever banks you plan on getting credit from, you already building those relationships in the sense of you got a bank account with them, or you got some sort of at least maybe personal credit cards with them, right? That way, once you have that relationship built, it's a lot easier for you to hop, jump, and skip to, now I got business credit cards, now I got line of credit, so on and so forth, right? Anyways, let's get into how this actually works. Okay, I'm gonna skip through all the introduction stuff because you guys can get that. You're gonna be able to get access to the guide. Okay, first thing I always say is choose a business name. This is kind of looking at it if you're starting from scratch. Okay, you're starting from scratch. You want to make sure you choose a business name. You can go do that at your Secretary of State website. There's you can find it on this link here. Okay, things you want to avoid, guys. Don't think that you're gonna if you run in a Tommy's strip club and you think that Bank of America is gonna give you a loan so you can launch your strip club, it's not gonna happen. I'm telling you right now. Okay, if you think that CBD is getting big, if you think that you're gonna say Tommy's Weed Emporium, and you think that a bank's gonna give you money because you're talking about weed, it's not gonna happen. You can't talk about CBD. Don't say CBD. Don't say weed. Don't say nothing. Even if that's what you're planning on selling, you need to think of like a general name, right? If you say anything related to drugs, what you think a bank gonna do when they get that? Like they're gonna literally look at you and they're gonna be like, this dude right here is literally telling us he's distributing weed. That's federal law says it's illegal, right? And this dude literally, his name is Tommy's Weed Emporium. Okay. And we click on his website and it says we deliver. They're gonna look at you and be like, bro, like we can't give you money, right? So you want to make it, if you're in one of these categories, right? That's listed here. Again, that's in the PDF and you can see it. I put the link. You want to make sure that you make it more of like a general name, right? You can say something like, for example, like when I was doing credit repair, I would do like a name like Tommy Consulting. Like at one point, I had a business name, Top Line Consulting, right? So it was general, but I knew what I was doing, credit repair, right? So that's kind of how you want to look at it. So that's the first thing you want to do. Next, you want to get a business address. Notice how I said get a business address before you actually incorporate. Okay, get a business address first. Okay, I recommend a virtual address. You do not want to use your house, your home address. That doesn't look professional. You're not gonna. No bank's gonna want to give you money. You say I live. I'm working out of my house. I know there's a lot of home-based businesses, and that's cool. I'm technically home-based, right? I have virtual addresses, but I'm technically home-based, right? But you want to make sure that you're actually, you can show them like a reputable address, right? And so to do that, I put some links down here. They're going to be updated by the time y'all click this thing, hopefully. But you can go to these resources and click and get an actual business address from these guys. It's going to cost you pay a monthly fee, like let's say $40 a month or $30 a month. But now you're going to have like an office building that you can use as your address. So whenever a bank Googles your address or looks your address up on Google Maps, they're going to see that you're in a building and you're not like at a single family home, like a regular house, right? Or an apartment building. I've seen sometimes some people, their business address is at an apartment complex. Yeah, that's not what the banks want to see. Okay. Once you do that, then you want to form your business because you want to make sure that you put that virtual address on your business paperwork. Okay. That's the reason why you want to follow that route. Okay. So what you can do is you can form this by going to your Secretary of State website and actually following the process to set up the LLC. Or what you can do is there's actually a link down here somewhere. Yeah, you can go to this link from Inc Authority, and it's actually free. They'll set it up for you for free. You still got to pay the fees, right? Your state fees, but they're actually going to let you set it up all for free because they try to sell you they like trying to upsell you other services. But what you can do is boom, you just go over there and they're going to pretty much set it up for you free, make it really easy. And then you'll have that. Next, you want to get your EIN number. EIN number, you click here. It's like an IRS. It's free. IRS website to get an EIN. Your EIN number is kind of like your like you have a social security number. That's pretty much like your business's social security number in a sense. Okay. You need that to get a bank account. You need that to, get employees. If you plan on having employees, you need to have that. Okay. So that's something that you want to make sure that you're on top of. Next, you want to register a business bank account. Okay. Now, those of you guys have seen my videos. These are some of the banks I recommend, but I shot a video talking about how you probably want to have different bank accounts. You want to have I use a series of 3 different bank accounts. Okay. And the reason why is I have a bank account where I keep majority of my cash, but I don't ever link any resources or any companies that I use to that bank account. Like I use different softwares and all that stuff. I don't ever link them to that bank account. I usually link it to an expense account that I have. So you typically want to have more than one. You want to have like an operating account. You want to have maybe a tax account or expense account. And then you want to have your savings account in a sense, okay? Where you just keep all your cash and only that account can push and pull money out, right? That's the account that stays in the back. And I shot a whole video. You can check on my YouTube channel. You'll find that video, okay? but you're going to need a bank account. And also think about getting a bank account where you might need to get a loan. If I know, dang, I saw Chase Bank has really good credit products, why not open a bank account with Chase so they can see that you have money coming in and out, right? That's already you building that relationship. You starting that relationship up, okay? So it might make it worthwhile to choose Chase. The way I do it is I'll do an online bank, right? I use Novo, online bank, a brick and mortar bank. I have I don't know if I have Chase. I don't think I have Chase. I have Wells Fargo for sure. And then I use a credit union. Any credit union in your area. Navy Federal is a really good one. That's why I mentioned them here. And yeah, so you got that. Okay. Next, you need to create a 401 listing. Oh yeah, I have on there. There's also going to be access to a Facebook group I got. So if y'all want to join that, there I'll be trying to. I think I'm gonna start doing like these type of business live streams. I think I'm gonna start doing it in that Facebook group. Anyways, creating a 401 listing. Let me make sure I don't have comments. Okay, good. Creating a 411 listing. So you want to create a 411 listing. Basically, what you do is first you need to get a phone. If you don't have a business phone, if you're using your phone, your cell phone, that's a bad idea, man. I'm telling you from my point of view. Like I went through that. I used to have my personal phone number listed whenever I was first started selling online. I would have people calling me in the middle of the night. Like I was selling internationally, so somebody might call me in like Europe. They call my phone, and I'm picking up calls like dudes asking me when, like, what's the tracking number for an order they have, and I'm like, dude, it's 2 a.m. Why you it didn't make sense to me. They didn't click on like, oh, you in France or you in you're in Spain, whatever the case may be. Okay, so make sure you have a business phone. That way you can set it for business hours. You can say like this phone only works from 8 to 5, right? And that outside of those hours, they're gonna get a voicemail. By the way, this is a little cheat code. You can actually get a voicemail set up. You can go to like a Fiverr website, and Fiverr you can actually order for someone for like $5 or $10 to actually like say whatever you want them to say, and they'll have like a voice that sounds like a what those big companies sound like whenever you call in, right? So you can get that done as well, right? So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure you have a phone plan. Next, you got to have a business website or email. Don't go too hard on the website. I used to spend it used to take me like 3 days to build a website. Nowadays, either if you can't build a website, go get a website built by somebody else. It's not worth for you to spend 10 days because you want to save a couple $100 to build a website. So I use Namecheap for domains. Next, you want a business email. I use a G Suite. If I showed you my email, my business email, which is support@tommyboboy.com is our support email, right? It looks, when you go in, it looks just like a regular Gmail account. Okay. But it looks more professional. You see that? If y'all look at this different, which one looks more professional out of these two? You're going to say the top one does, right? This one does. When you see @Gmail, when you see @Gmail at the end, it don't look professional. So you want to make sure you get a professional email address. Here you 2 links where you can set up websites, Squarespace or Shopify, Fiverr. Like I told you, if you want to get a logo made, but you can also do them for the voicemails. And then you want to set up your business credit reports. I go to Duns and Bradstreet to get a Duns number. This is the number that you're typically going to be asked whenever you're applying for credit products or anything like that. They'll usually ask you for your Duns number. So you want to click that link and get all set up. And then that's pretty much it. You're going to be on the right track from there. Next, here's some vendor accounts. There's Uline, CEO Creative, Granger, Quill. I think that might be it. There you go. So that's a couple accounts right there. Now, that is enough to get you started. Okay. Now I want to talk about, credit. How do you get credit lines without even having good personal credit? Let's say you have bad credit. Let's say you don't even want your credit ran at all. There's now a lot of fintech companies out there that are leveraging your bank deposits. That's why I said it's so critical that you first make sure that you start making money first before you jump into trying to get money, right? Make sure that you're making money, your business is making money. I'm telling you, people are going to be like falling over themselves trying to hand you money. I literally have on my Stripe account, I got Stripe literally telling me, they kept telling me to apply to get money from them. I didn't apply, and eventually they just attached it to my account and said, you have a line of credit now. You can pull from this line of credit whenever you want. Like, that tells you that they didn't check my credit. They didn't even check my business assets. They just saw that, oh, he's running so much money through this Stripe account. we might as well just try to see if he give him money and see if he takes it. If he takes it, then boom, we know at least that we're going to get paid back, right? So that's what's available nowadays. PayPal does the same thing. PayPal before has told me to apply. They said they'll give me business money, right? Who else? There's all these different companies, especially companies that can see your transactions. They're typically going to be the ones who are going to be more open to giving you money. Who else gave me money too? Oh, it was Novo Bank. My bad. That's the good thing about Novo. Novo is the one who gave me that line of credit like that. Okay, so that's kind of how you want to look at it. Oops. That's kind of how you want to look at it, man. You want to try to. By the way, if you have any questions, throw it down in the comment box. I'll be happy to answer them. But that's how you want to look at it: is build your business first, and then start looking for credit to blow your business up. That's the way you want to look at it. Now, I talked about earlier, I don't know, some of you guys might have missed it, but I basically said that I'm thinking about starting another business. I'm trying to make it as passive as possible, but it's not going to be passive. Like, to me, I don't think that it's quite possible at a small scale. I think like you got to be making a lot of money to have a passive business, but I'm going to try to make it to where I can offload as much of the work as possible while still being able to make a profit. And then I want to pretty much shoot that and show it on my channel. So right now I'm thinking I want to do something in financial services. Back in the day, for those of you guys who have just started following me, I've mentioned on my channel that I was a stockbroker, financial advisor before I stopped. That was my like day job, right? And even before that, I did tax preparation. I kind of did it at the same time as when I was a stockbroker. I used to prepare taxes, and at the same time, I used to be a stockbroker, and then I became a financial advisor. I was a financial advisor. I should shop some videos on stocks, but y'all don't like to listen to my stock advice because I just tell you what I learned from rich people. Like when I was a stockbroker, I literally would be on the phone with people who had somebody with 30 years old had $1 million, and I would ask them straight up, "Hey, how'd you make this money?" They would tell me, and that's the information I share with everybody else. But it's like it's information that's out there. Everybody, rich, successful people say this information, but it doesn't sound good. They tell you, you got a dollar cost average. They tell you that you got to keep investing, right? You got to invest every single day, and then it's going to compound. That doesn't sound sexy. People want to hear like, how can I go from I'm broke today to I'm making $10,000 next week, right? That sounds cooler than, oh, you keep investing and then your money's going to grow. Next thing you know, you're going to look up after a couple of years and you got, I don't know, you got $100,000, you got $1 million, right? So anyways, what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about doing something in financial services. It's going to be something like bookkeeping. It's going to be bookkeeping, tax, or how do I say, fractional CFO. So that's kind of like, smaller businesses. I can come in and give them more of I can kind of play almost a CFO role, but it would be like part-time in a sense where it's like, I just go in, I say, okay, your cash flow is going to run out at this point. Boom, here's some resources where you can get funding, so on and so forth, right? I was a finance major, so that's the stuff that I found the most interesting. And even when I would run my businesses, that's what I loved really the most, right? I wanted to be a little more hands-off on the other stuff and to be able to focus on the cash flow and really like the financials of the business, okay? So I'm thinking about doing something like that. Let me know if that's something that y'all be interested in on Facebook, on YouTube, whichever one of you guys. And because more than likely, I'll probably start shooting videos where it kind of be over the shoulder. Some of you guys, y'all talked to me about what I've told you guys. I told y'all that I'm thinking about buying a business. I've actually was talking with somebody, a guy who he's actually in Ukraine right now. He was trying to sell his business. It was like a SaaS company. And I was I'm still talking with him, but I think he wants a little more than what I think the business is worth. But, he was willing to sell this business that was basically a SaaS company that was for e-com. I can't tell you too much about it because I might still buy it, but it was basically for e-commerce websites. It's a way to help them with their marketing. Okay. And so I was in talks with him. Things are moving a lot slower, and that's what made me think like I wanted to do something on the channel. I don't always want to shoot about credit, so I wanted to talk about either me building a business and y'all watch me build a business from scratch, kind of like I did with that me building business credit series, or I buy a business and I show you guys where the business was at when I bought it, and y'all can watch me literally level this thing up. Okay, so it's gonna be one of those two. I don't know if y'all interested in that. Let me know, but that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I hope that makes sense. What else did I want to say something else about business credit? Let me see if there's anything else in here. I think that's pretty much it for this. If y'all want to get this, just click the link. I put a link down in you guys should see the links available for you guys to be able to get that. But yeah, I think that's something that you guys really need to think. Oh, tax savings. That's what I want to talk about. Guys, it's coming to the tax season. You know what's crazy? I was talking with some of my friends. I have a lot of friends that make like that I went to college with. You know, now they're making six figures. They're either close to six figures, they're making six figures, or they're like they done past six figures and they're killing it, right? And we were having a conversation one time about like taxes and stuff, and I was trying to tell them, I was like, your six figures isn't the same as my six figures. Like if I'm running a business, or at least have some sort of side hustle on the side, when it comes to the amount of taxes that I'm paying compared to you, it's not going to be the same thing. So if you're a W-2 employee, right, you just get a paycheck, or if you're 1099, man, that means that they're giving you all the smoke. Like you literally, you end up paying the most when it comes to taxes, right? But if you fall in any of those two categories, you got to look for ways to offset your taxes, right? Even if you're a W-2 employee and you love tax season because you get money back, you still want to look at how you can leverage, like what can you do to make sure that you're not really getting money back? Because whenever you get money back, that's just a loan that you gave the government. That's money that they got from you. They're just giving it back. It's like if you let your homie borrow money for a year and then he finally paid you back, you wouldn't be happy about letting somebody borrow money for a year, right? So that's kind of how you want to look at it. But there is tax saving techniques that are out there for people who have businesses or people who run side hustles, man. If you can do things like, you're doing something related to real estate, right? Whether you're a contractor, or maybe you run a tutoring service, or maybe you run a nail salon, or whatever the case may be, whatever you do, you got to start looking at that and how you can leverage that to actually get tax savings. I'm going to be shooting videos on the channel. Y'all going to see me shooting videos about what you can do when it comes to taxes and how you can go about making sure that you're saving money saving as much money as possible on taxes. Again, I told you that's one of the things that I might get back into, and I might let y'all see behind the scenes of how I shoot this thing off pretty much. Like me, the way I'm looking at it is like I'm gonna pour money into it in terms of like the marketing aspect of it. Because when I was a tax preparer before, I didn't know what I know now, and I think maybe that's what I'm gonna go down that route, or bookkeeping. But either way, I'm gonna be focusing more on the marketing and the sales, and I'm gonna bring in operational people that I can pay, like just from the money I make in the business, right? So this is not gonna be me like bringing in like family members or something. It's gonna be more so like I'm bringing in employees. Like once I start getting sales, I'm immediately flipping and trying to hire people and setting up processes. So y'all gonna see that all happen. If it happens during tax season, the videos might be slow because you know how tax season is. But whatever the case may be, I'm planning on shooting those videos. So if that's something that's going to be that you think you might find interesting, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you keep following the channel on YouTube for sure, because it's going to be either a tax business, a bookkeeping business, or a fractional CFO. I might do all three of them, roll them out little by little, or it's going to be me buying the business and y'all watching me grow that thing as high as I can. Okay. So that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch this video. Make sure you hit the like, you subscribe, you share if you're on Facebook. I appreciate you helping me to get this stuff out to as many people as possible. This thing right here is changing, life changing, right? You are right now. Think about this. People right now they're out having fun, right? They're out doing whatever, right? Out partying. And you're taking the time to watch a live stream talking about building a business, talking about getting business funding, right? You already, you know how we love to talk in America about the top 1%. You are already in the 1%. You're willing to take time to learn, to get better. There's a lot of people, I'm telling you, I give out knowledge even before I start YouTube. I used to give out this knowledge to people, and it would literally be like I could tell 100 people, one person would take action, and that person would make money. So to me, it's like if I can tell one or two of you guys, and y'all take action on this, and y'all come back to me and say, "Hey, Tommy, I appreciate that information. I was able to make $5,000. I was able to save money on taxes because of this, or I watched your video and I fixed my credit." That to me means the world. Okay, so I appreciate y'all watching, guys. Y'all have a good rest of your night. Be sure if you just jumped into it, be sure that you run it back and you watch it from the beginning. I think it's going to be some information you're going to find extremely useful, extremely valuable. And that's it, man. I appreciate y'all watching, guys. Until the next one. Peace.